Welcome everyone. Today I have a very exciting zombie summoner build for patch 0.4. Looking behind me, my race zombie is rank 40. It also has the empower zombies with 670 more damage with hits. And on top of that, this is also amplified by quality and also tons of more damage from the supporting gem. So just to show you guys the stats over here, and then let's go through some of the maps to see how powerful the zombies can be using this new build. So testing in a tier 16 map, level 80, and is fully corrupted and fully modified and also corrupted. So looking behind me, the combination of the zombie summoner uses power charges. Each time you consume power charges, you summon 3 zombies instead of 1, and one of the zombies summoned will be empowered or enhanced with the 670 more damage with hits. So very quickly you can see at the start of the fight, I was able to get 10 zombies in a row, and then we start the mapping. I'll teach you guys about the rotations and also the mechanics behind getting more power charges and also getting more zombies. Looking behind me, our specters with Valve Vultures are jumping around while the zombies are also getting enhancedly berserked with Enrage for tons of attack speed and also attack damage. So yes, this is the next setup coming from our Rage stacking berserk. Now, you can see there are a number of things that is happening on the map. Firstly, we're consuming life a little bit when we cast Pen Offering, but that is not the biggest deal. But we are consuming mana consistently because we need the mana to summon more zombies. We're consistently getting power charges, and when we get power charges, we summon 3 zombies instead of 1, and that's what we wanted. And we can have a lot of power charges using this new setup. Finally, we're consistently getting a surge of mana regen, as you're going to see in a few seconds. And yes, I am still running Mind Over Matter, so we have tons of defensive capacities with this massive mana regeneration by using a new lineage gem for the support offering. I am also using guard for additional source of protection. You can see we have about 1374 guard, and those 3 layers makes this build surprisingly tanky and also sustainable. Now in terms of the map clear, you can see the enraged minions together with the vultures and also zombies. They're jumping, they're rushing towards everything, and my job is to keep up the zombies. It is a little more button intensive compared to other builds because the zombies are not permanent minions, so you do want to keep pretty much 10 of them consistently all the time. I've tried it without 10 of them, it still works in mapping, but of course for the highest damage you want 10 zombies. So in terms of mapping, tier 16, tier 17 maps, we don't have any problems. Very consistent gameplay and very interactive for a minion summoner. I'm no longer a lazy summoner. I'm timing my combos, my units, and everything synergy seems to be working correctly for a huge amount of damage. Now, I'm sure you guys want to see the boss fight, so let's have a look at the map boss first, then we go over some uber boss fights. So against the map boss, I'll be summoning my Pen Offering, which gives me tons of power charges, and then here I'll be summoning zombies as my mana regenerate. So against the boss, within a few seconds, the boss gets staggered, and before it even gets staggered, it is pretty much destroyed very quickly for this particular setup. So over here again, we have some testing notes, and in one of the runs I actually got the run supporting gem, but it still did a lot of damage. So similarly for a tier 16, tier 17 map, I'll just quickly jump to the boss and show you guys over here. Again, for single target, the minion build never had any problem, and with the enhanced zombies and also the powers, it really ranks up very quickly. So you can see, in a few seconds, the boss is gone. Now, a better demonstration for the new zombie setup will be coming to the bridge. I had 2 bridge testing runs, both are very successful. I'll show you guys the correctly socketed support gem bridge runs, because I accidentally socketed in rapid attack level 3, which meant we lost 50% more damage instead of the rapid attack level 2. So this is the correct socketing for the build. So let's have a look at the fights. Now, you've seen mapping before. The Rage Summoner stacking build is incredibly good at clearing trash monsters, and this includes rare monsters or any monsters that spawns on the map. Our Vultures is enhanced with attack speed, attack damage, and they leaping non-stop. So self-explanatory, mapping were very powerful and just have to keep a steady flow of mana generation, and also keeping 10 zombies alive is pretty easy to learn the combo once you get used to it. Let's jump over to the uber boss. In terms of the Uber boss, I like to do a small adjustment. I don't need all full vouchers because they'll be jumping around, but ideally I want some ravers which will help me to stagger the boss and also debuff them with armor break, and I don't need my charm for defensiveness. I can even get more summons by removing my charm for the third opening of the slots. Nothing too fancy, this is just to max my spare spirit, but our highest damage is coming from the zombies. So we'll talk about the skill rotation very soon, so let me show you guys the gameplay demonstration, then we go behind the mechanics for those rank 40 ultra enhanced high powerful zombies. In terms of the damage setup, it takes about 1 to 2 seconds for the minions to get going, and as you can see, once the minion gets going, within 3 or 2 seconds the boss is melted. So it takes 1 second, 2 seconds, and once the boss is staggered, the damage really racks up very quickly. So yes, single target damage, definitely one of the highest I've tried. Now, coming to my character, because this is gonna be our first zombie video, I may be making one more video to enhance the build, but I think we're at a very good spot for the zombie summoner, and finally making it work, I'm very excited. So, how does Raid Zombie work? Firstly, if you look at this particular line, consume a corpse or power charge to create a short-lived zombie, so those zombies only have 20-second duration. We could make it longer, but it's not worth losing out in a lot of damage for longer duration. So 10 zombies, 20 seconds, that's acceptable. What I didn't understand is you need to consume both the corpse and the power charge for the empowered zombies. You can't just consume a power charge whenever you have a power charge, you also need a corpse. So in order to make the corpse work, we have a skill called Sacrifice. Now, it is okay in mapping, you just find any corpses and consume them for zombies. But what I find to be most consistent is to consume your minions as corpses, and in return you have tons of minions to be sacrificed using skills like the Sacrificial Lamb, or using tons of cheap version of the Skeleton Warriors that can be sacrificed as corpses. So now that we understand we can sacrifice our minions and also sacrifice more minions to summon the zombies, the next step we need to get is to get power charges. So when you summon a power charge zombie with a corpse and a power charge, those two have to be combined together. I'll show you guys over here. If I summon a normal zombie, I get 1 zombie, right? But if I get the power charge, which I get very soon, I summon once, I get 3 zombies. One of the zombies will be enhanced with more movement speed and also more damage. The more is a multiplicative massive amplifier, and the power of the empowerment of zombies is also increased by the quality of the gem. And yes, I did get the +1 and also the 23 quality for the highest output damage for the zombies. Should you guys want to see the actual choices of the items, so some of those items I talk about will be available at the end of the video, and you can look at the links for the +3 zombies, very cheap, about 8 divines before this video is released. It might go up in price, and here the zombies are about the 23% is only about 8 or 9 divine, so not the most expensive investment. So, next question, how do you get power charges? The reason I want to do the zombies is because of those unique gloves. I am consistently getting tons of different random charges, and I realize the power charge I get from those gloves can potentially use to summon empowered zombies, and that's how I started. So those gloves provides me with maximum rage. A brief summary of how the rage works: we consistently gain rage regeneration. We don't lose rage because of this passive, and because this glove is also rolled out of the losing maximum rage once you have achieved the rage. So you can see I have a few other failed gloves that couldn't get away. So here it is not crafted with lose all rage upon reaching maximum rage. This line is not preferable because we want as high rage as we can and under maximum rage. So this is one of the best installed, which removed that particular modifier for something bonus like attack speed even better. Once you have tons of rage as you build, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with the rage summoner now, each maximum rage, or each 1 rage, will give us 1% minion attack and also 1% minion damage. I have 53 rage, I could go higher, but it starts to be a little costly. Now, not only we get about 53 minion attack speed and also 53% minion damage, we can also provide our minions with their own rage. So some of the rage minions can give them to themselves is including the skeleton ravers that can gain rage by activating the command spell. But if we gain rage if we gain rage as our character, then the minions will also regenerate rage. they can get at least 30 rage or even up to our maximum rage. And this is, I think, double looping the bonus rage. So our rage will give them attack speed and damage, and their own rage will give them attack speed and damage, I believe. So very, very nice to gain more rage, and also these gloves give us maximum rage and also random power charge. Now I did go a little around to explain the rage summoner. The next thing we want to get more power charge is actually coming from this new, this new so-called. This particular so-called of power means it has to be a martial weapon. So notice that here we're using a martial one-handed mace weapon. This weapon is exceptional, corrupted with +2 level to all minions and also 3 sockets. Very important to have 3 sockets. One of the sockets will be socketing 50% chance when you gain a power charge, you'll gain additional power charge. So notice now we have one way of getting random power charges, and once we get a power charge, there's a random chance of getting additional power charge. But that wasn't consistent enough for power charge. The final way of getting power charge is using this particular lineage support gem for the pain offering. Now, unfortunately, we'll lose sacrificial offering, which means we have this is removed, the more buff effect is gone, but it's not the biggest deal because this lineage gem is surprisingly powerful. So once that is summoned, it will take a proportion of your life, but it will guarantee that you're generating power charges very consistently. So random chance for power charge and also consistently getting power charge. On top of that, the sacrifice will also regenerate your life and also mana, and this is quite sizable. So let me show you guys over here. If I cast the pain offering and I spam to spend my mana, notice my mana is gone, right? But once the power charge comes, coming from the sacrifice and also coming from the gloves, I get a surge of mana regen. Look how fast the mana regen goes. It is incredible, the mana regen, and this is because of the lineage support gem. Give us power charge and also mana regen. So those are the combination for more power charge. And this also solves our mana problem. Because I'll be trying to spam the race zombies, the race zombies are not cheap. 618 mana without any mana efficiency. So I want to summon as many zombies as I can. Ideally, I only want to summon 3 times the zombie. So I wait for the power charge, I summon, and then I'm out of mana, right? I summon, drink some mana potions, I summon again. So 3 zombies, 9 zombies, and then we get tons of power charge for 1 more. And that is a maximum zombie army. Now that we talk about how the zombies work, let's see if there's anything particular. So let's go briefly through the skill links and also the choices of gears. And then we'll talk about some of the gears I've tested, even like different supporting gems you can use or other things. So firstly, I made the mistake of socketing in the rapid attack level 3 in the first testing, so I was losing 50% damage. I'll actually show you guys that video because that actually showed us that we're actually surprisingly tanky. So here is about boss fight, and this is when I'm using the Run rapid attack. Still sizable damage. This actually shows I face tanked the boss's fireball and it didn't kill me. So as I go through the choices of the skills, I think over here you're gonna see that I actually used the Run rapid attack for 50% less damage. But the build is very durable, surprisingly. Now, the most important links are gonna be the race zombies, and because I have adjusted the links a little bit, so bear with me, let me explain how each of the supported gems have their own purpose and the reasons behind it. For the race zombies, ideally we want to have at least 3 empowered zombies, and that can be achieved easily with how much power charge we're getting. And you can see we're just consistently getting a lot of power charge, and more power charges, 3 power charges in a row, right? So consistently getting my power charge, and the zombies get summoned very quickly. So notice I summoned 4 zombies. I summoned zombies 4 times, and 4 of them are empowered zombies, while the rest are the normal zombies. Normal zombies won't do as much damage because they're not enjoying this 600 multiplier and even greater multiplier. But regardless, we have more damage with Feeding Frenzy. We have more damage with Mastered with 7 unique minions. That's 49% more damage. And then we have more damage with Bleed level 4. So we consistently debuff enemy with Bleed. So that's another 30% more melee physical damage. We also have 35% more melee physical damage with Heavy Swing. So a lot more damage. So those are all multiplicative more damage. Finally, we have rapid attacks for additional attack speed. If you guys recall, as rage summoners, we have tons of minion attack speed as well. And I'm trying to get a lot of minion attack speed wherever I can over here and also over here. And even over here, we get some minion attack speed and even minion movement speed to make them super fast with like crazy zombie apocalypse. Now that we talk about the zombies, what I notice is in order to enhance the map clear, I tend to run 3 to 4 of the vouchers. So let's see, the vouchers, where are they? Do we get enough? Yes. Let's go over here, and the snipers, vouchers are here. Okay, good. So I tend to run 3 to 4 vouchers. If you can get 2 vouchers, usually that's enough for mapping. 3 and 4 vouchers are great because of Dallas Desire with Spirit Reservation, the reservation socketing of the helmet, and also the crafted reservation on the chest piece, and also the reservation over here, and also more reservation, and this allows me to run 4 vouchers. Definitely very powerful for mapping. You can see they instantly one shot kill the enemy. We talk about how I'm getting a lot higher minion skill ranks. Everything's above 37. Look at that. That's 36, 36, 38, 37, 37. So this is an incredibly powerful endgame minion build coming from the previous video. If you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. More damage for the Spectre, so Master Feeding Frenzy, and Rapid Attack, with Dallas Desire, and finally with Bleeding. So very similar setup to the Race Zombies, but I'm not using Dallas Desire because the Spirit Reservation reduction doesn't really help the zombies, so it's perfect to socket over here. Now the snipers, very standard. We have double the chain, we have additional chain, and also debuffs like Blind, Main, and also Bleeding, level 3. So this is how we consistently get Bleeding with 100% chance of bleeding. We also have 2 snipers just to guarantee all the debuffs apply. Skeletal Ravers are not great in terms of mapping, but they're great against the boss. So they have the smiting, which means you can break more armor and also enemy take more physical damage as the armor broken. More damage with Feeding Frenzy, more master damage, and also more chance to stagger enemy with stun. Finally, the Tackle's Revenge just allows them to become berserk once they reach 0 health. Very powerful, especially running 10 of them, and when the boss kills them, they go berserk. I am running an Aura Bot. In the past, running Aura Bots means that we're losing out tons of spirit. So here, I'm losing about 126 spirit on this Aura Bot with 32.7% spirit reservation. You can get potentially 30% or even 27% spirit with a special companion. We'll have a video to talk about it, but I found this one that was good enough, especially with increased area of effect. So Haste Aura means we will be giving our units 20% attack, cast, and also movement speed for 10%. That is really good for the melee units. So all the units are enjoying those buffs, and that's about 13% damage boost. So if you look at the snipers, it is 19,000. If I take it away, it is about 17,000. So all the minions are enjoying this buff, especially the zombies. Now, the sacrifice is a skill that allows us to sacrifice our minions, and this one is combined with minion mastery. So which sacrifice, higher level of sacrifice means less deduction to minion revival rate, which will be useful. So here we have this is a very powerful spell that gives us 50% increased minion damage when we don't have maximum mana. And most of the time, as we summon zombies, we don't have maximum mana, hence the damage enhancement boost is over here for all the minions. I found Herbalism especially good on sacrifice because I'm running this particular potion. So without Herbalism, if I cast a Pen Offering, I drink the potion, I'm sitting on 1,300 something. I think we get a lot more. Oh, I took out the wrong one. So with Herbalism, we're sitting on 1,330 bonus guard. So if I'm going to take Herbalism off and wait for the guard to expire, and I'll show you guys the difference. So take this 780. So we gained about 600 additional guard just by having Herbalism to enhance the recovery rate of life potion that in return give us bonus guard. And the cost is 30 spirit. We have plenty of spirit over here. Finally, additional mana regeneration is great because we are always short on mana. The zombies cost a lot of mana. Pen offering over here is quite straightforward with dense markup, with British Spring, and also longer duration, and also mini mastery. The additional changes is from the sacrificial offering over here, that this one is good, but this is just very powerful, especially for mind over matter build. Nothing too special about the skeleton mages. We have increased shock magnitude, so we get 30% shock increased damage taken by enemies, and mastered control destruction really gives them high damage, and then feeding frenzy and also shock. The skeleton cleric is the minion of choice to be sacrificed first by using sacrifice and also by summoning zombies. I'll explain why over here as well. They have deathmatch, so when they die, they heal other minions and remove debuffs on the minions. They have elemental army, mid shield to keep them tanky. They also have essence harvest to give us more mana when they die. And finally, they are sacrificial lamb, so we kill them, and in return, we summon zombies. There's 3 of them, which guaranteed at least 9 of my zombies will be coming from the skeleton cleric, and we also have tons of skeleton warriors. Now, if you haven't seen my past video, so as for the skeleton warriors, I have them on auto destruction, so mini instability and also Infernal Legion kills them within 3 seconds that they are alive. So they are constantly dying and giving us the Abyss modifier, and that's not a huge deal. They also give us some bonus mana when they die. The reason I keep the skeleton warrior constantly dying is that so they start the minion revival timer, and this means when one of my minion dies, they can be revived with a much lower timer, and when I sacrifice the skeleton cleric over here, so I'll show you guys over here, I wait for the power charge and then I sacrifice them. So I sacrifice the cleric. So when the cleric is sacrificed, notice that when they'll be enjoying a much revival timer. So now all the cleric are revived. So the idea of the skeleton warrior is that they give us more mana when they die. They are starting the revival timer. They also give us the Abyss modifiers. And then when the cleric is sacrificed, they get revived almost instantly because of the timer. And before the clerics are sacrificed, the cleric will revive the skeleton warrior so the timer kind of doesn't get to waste. So this means if any of my other persistent minion dies, they will actually enjoy the much lower minion revival timer that kind of is a tech that provides you with infinite minions. Then notice the tech over here, so we have 4 seconds, 6 seconds, the timer will start, and then this timer kind of start to revive the skeleton cleric. And during this time, if we're out of clerics, we can sacrifice the skeleton warriors for the zombies. A small tech over here, it could be better if I invest more into the mini revival timer, but getting into 6 seconds is good, getting to 5 seconds is a little harder over here, so I just kept at 6 seconds. So, choices of gears. We have talked about this in the previous video, briefly going over them. The choices previously, we have 3 socketing of the Greater Leadership Rune, a huge damage boost because of the 10% extra physical damages lining for all the minions, and the 20% increased damage per socket. We remove one of the sockets to guarantee the additional power charge gaining, and this is coming from the bundled modifiers from the Shaman for bonus damage. The helmet, it was a massive upgrade. This is how I got all the minions to level 37 or level 40. +4 to all skills works for every build, and then having the no skill gem requirement means I no longer need any of the stats. I only need those stats to make sure my gems have enough requirement. Other than that, I don't need any stats for the skill gems. Very big upgrade. And if you don't know how it works, check out the previous video on this part. This can also be corrupted for all minion skills. And this helmet cost me 600 divine. I've seen 300 divines in the past. It's around 300, 500 or 600 divine. I bought this one for a little higher because of the chaos resistance for 17 max. I'm a little overcapped with chaos, to be honest, because I was trying to put the headhunter over here. That's my future plan. And yes, the link to those gears will be available in the comment in the video section. If you scroll down, you can see all the trade links related to those items. A +5 to minion skills, and then some nice spirit is not bad. Here I had 90 increased minion damage. The spirit isn't that high, only 46. So this was a much cheaper scepter. Bought it for about 60 divine about 2 weeks ago. Those rings give us extra damage as chaos. In return, we take more chaos damage. And this is also mirroring the ring, a very glass cannon setup for huge damage. +4 to the minion skills, and then when I hit enemies recently, I will be getting additional damage from my minions. How do I hit enemies? I'm actually mace attacking them. I forgot to talk about this. We have rapid attack level 3. We have increased area. Yes, this actually helps. This gives us from 0.13 to 0.15 over here for a little further reach. And we have a mini headhunter with this particular skill. So this skill, you can only hit low life enemies, do damage to low life enemies. But once you hit them, if you kill them, you gain their modifiers for 300 seconds. And here to kill the low life enemies, we have Calling Strike. And finally, we'll be gaining rage each time we hit enemies. And this is also how we can consistently gain rage and regenerate rage on the minions. And this is because we're using a mace weapon. Talk about the gloves, it should be crafted with that you don't lose rage, and then the bonus rage here is not a big deal. The maximum rage is what we want. I've taken away the banners or the glory skills because I want as much damage coming from the mastered ability for the skeleton, for the race zombies. You can see the previous video which we actually used a glory banner multiple times to gain 24 bonus maximum rage by using this particular glove. The boots and belts are just here for additional stats that we're missing because we're using so many uniques. The potions is extremely good. As you use life, you drink the potion, you gain guard consistently. Very powerful. The charm here, because I don't have a need to get a higher spirit, I can use this charm for mapping. For uber bosses, you're not killing rare monsters, so you can take this away for more summons. And for most mapping, this gives us 20% more life and also 20% damage reduction. Mana potion is aimed for amount of recovery and also charges when you kill enemies. I thought about using instant potions and also higher charges, not a huge deal. To be honest, I prefer the increased recovery. Now in terms of the additional choices of supporting gems, I tried Gorge on the zombies and also even life tap on the zombies. It is a very fun mechanic, definitely can summon tons of more zombies, but with the consistent power charges we didn't feel the need for this. And the additional charges, it is a very gimmicky combo if you want to try, especially using Gorge and also life tap on the zombies. You can consistently get your life back and get tons of guard using this potion. Rapid attack level 3, don't want to put that on the zombie, and you can consider putting Impale on the zombie. So this is taking advantage of the empowerment of the zombies with the 670% more damage multiplier. So that damage is stored in terms of impaled damage that is kind of delayed for the other minions to enjoy the pre-physical damage mitigation. But it turns out they were just dying so fast I didn't really need the impale. I just went all in for the additional damage. But of course, if you want to go bossing, it's possible to take away heavy swing, putting impale and having your skeleton raviers really benefit from the stored damage coming from the zombies. In terms of the passives, we have talked about this previously, so we got 3 of the Grand Spectrum, Corruptor for additional resistance that we're missing, so this pushes our spirit over 600, more spirit over here, and we have Reservation. This node is very powerful because we deal huge amount of damage in terms of extra chaos damage. If you look at my vouchers, it is 130,000 per voucher. If I take those ring off, it is 80,000. So increase the damage by almost about 50%. So once enemies take weather, they will take more chaos damage, and they stack up to 50 times. So this really enhances our chaos damage even further. And the greater area effect is actually pretty good for the vouchers to slam and kill enemies. So we have Grand Spectrum over here, and I think Grand Spectrum over here. We have this node, of course, for minion and rage and more movement speed. This is for maximum spirit, attack speed, and also a bit of attack speed, bonus damage for the spirit nodes. Now, I have made some changes. In the past, I had this node for the overflow of the sacrifice of mind. So this was not a big deal. Actually, I could take this away, I think, too. So I'll show you guys over here. Take away this node. I'm trying to check my tribute. Tribute is a little lower, so we're gonna go, shot on intelligence, let's not mess with this. So this node was taken away because I wasn't overflowing the mana. I actually want to deplete my mana so I can enjoy the upwell for 50% increased damage on minions. In order to do so, and also get tons of regeneration, Pen Offering is enough. And this also loses 50% mana regen, so overflowing mana is not needed, but this Cockroach Druid is crafted correctly with increased minion damage and also 8% spirit. I purposely selected for the minion reservation, and also the bonus spirit, and also tributes for double tribute. So I was easily getting the 160 breakpoint for more minion summons, and even giving our minions high attack speed and also casting speed based on the tribute. Let's say over here. So over here we have more movement speed. The additional armor break is very good for minion to break armor quickly, stagger the boss, and deal tons of physical damage. This in combination with having tons of skeleton ravers against the boss means the boss will permanently take increased physical damage up to 20%. So this is very powerful, right? Especially over time, the boss just dies super fast. A bit of minion revival if you can spare it, not the biggest deal, because I kind of want to keep up my minions, and the more they revive, the more essence harvest I get. You can see over here our mana regen is quite high because the skeleton warriors keep dying over here, so we have bonus mana regen. Over here we have Bulwark, and this takes away the need to anoint any of those knots, but unfortunately my amulet is already anointed with Warlock Leader, so this kind of wasted the anointment on the amulet. Bulwark provides us with ally with 16% increased damage, the rage for the minions, and also the additional increase of damage for allies. So in terms of anointment, I believe I can't change it once it's identified, but I should actually check on that. So yeah, you can definitely anoint something else over here. And finally, the spare juice socket is here to get +3 levels to any minion you want to run as priority for your damage team. Let's say if you realize as you fight mapping, you don't need actually bought a lot of those juice, so to prepare for a lot of minion testing builds. So where are they? Oh, it's over here. So we have skeleton snipers, we have skeleton specters, we have brutes, we also have ravers. So whichever minion you want to take to rank 40, you can do so by using this particular socket. And you don't even need Dallas Desire because that actually overcaps to 41. So if I want zombies to level 40, I put in the zombies for bossing. But if you want the specters to rank 40 for mapping, you can even change that. So this is the flexible node, whichever of the Prism of Belief you want to run with. What I think is, since we're going with a zombie build, of course we go for zombies to rank 40, right? Now, finally, in terms of skill rotations, and yes, I do apologize for the mic, guys. The mic keeps getting interference. I have to reset the whole recording every few segments. So, in terms of the actual rotation, you don't want to summon a zombie like this. If you summon a normal zombie without power charges, you can have a chance of getting power charge with the gloves, but it's not ideal. So what I recommend is, before the fight starts, you're going to summon your Pen Offering. So right now we have the power charge. Let's pretend we have no power charge. We're going to summon the Pen Offering. This will kill the skeleton cleric. You wait for the power charge to occur, which occurs very quickly. Usually it's 2 or 3. You summon the zombies, summon 3 times, you get 9, and you get Surge of Mana, you summon up to 10. So now you have 4 empowered zombies. You also have the power charge. During this time, a better rotation will be summon the Pen Offering, and then drink your potion, summon the zombies, you consistently get in the guard. Just look at the power charges. It will come very consistently. You can drink mana potion or wait for the huge mana regen coming from the Lineage support gem. And that is pretty much the whole combination. During this time, you can hold down your movement button to start mace attack. We actually mace attack super fast because if you look at this, we have 0.195. So we're attacking 5 times a second. This is because the enraged minion's attack speed is also given to the player character. The minion attack speed goes on to the players. So we attack super fast because of this. We're kind of enjoying the double speed aura over here. And if you're running a lot of the ravers, if you're doing the adjustment, you can remove this, go for a lot of ravers over here. And then you can cast Enrage on the ravers to give them even more enrage. The ravers can have higher quality over here, and this means they have stronger effect of rage. So yeah, very powerful setup that enhance rage, letting go of the needing to have spirit because the zombies don't require spirit. The only downside of the build itself is that you have to keep summoning the zombies, but that actually makes the game more interactive. So before we finish, let's briefly go through the rotations in the bridge. and I'll show you guys the over here. So really liking the zombie build. I'm surprised I can make it work, and it's quite powerful with all the in-game gears, of course. But even without all the gears, I think the zombies have a market because the logic, the mechanic, and also the system works very well. And then it's just how much survivability and also how much damage you can do. So you can see at the start of the fight, I'll be casting the Pen Offering, wait for the power charges, and then start summoning the zombies. And my army builds up. And during this time, because I'm gaining rage, the minions are gaining rage, and things gets very chaotic, and they become very strong. You can see the minions are going red, and everything is gaining bonus attack speed, attack damage. And we're killing rage monsters, so the talisman work, I'm getting the damage reduction. And as long as we keep up the Pen Offering, it doesn't matter if there's no coverage, we're still getting a power charge, we're still getting the mana regen for survivability, and also for more zombies. And that is pretty much the setup. So, against the boss, I showed over here we can change and also adjust the number of summons. So I'll show you guys here again. I took away the vouchers back to 1. We want to keep at least 1. So I really invest in a lot of the Ravers against the boss. So if we come over against the boss, I noticed the boss wasn't killing the Ravers, so I probably don't even need the Tackle's Revenge. You want to use your Pen Offering before the boss comes onto the board, because it takes a few seconds for the power charge to charge up. So about 3-4 seconds, power charge comes in. Sometimes you get 2, sometimes you get 3, and then you start to summon your zombies. Make sure they're empowered zombies. Drinking some mana potion or wait for the mana surge, and then cast your Pen Offering again when the boss landed, means we're ready. We're so ready against the boss. You can see there's tons of debuffs. I could make the fight even stronger because I realized that for bossing I can use Impale over Heavy Swing. The zombies' empowerment damage will be transitioned and consumed by the Ravers, and I can take away the Revenge over here and put in another rapid attack over here onto the Ravers, which will be a better idea, I think. But everything is enough. I don't think we needed that much, but just to make a max we could have done that. So yeah, the boss dies really fast against single target. I wasn't able to get enough friends online to do a 5 or 6 man testing, but I'm sure you guys have the understanding of the build. So very happy to make the build work, and what I'll do is I'll provide you guys with a tier 16, and here we have a tier 17 difficulty, so a tier 16 base map with the errated and also the boss modifiers to take us to level 81 over here on the map. And you can see very smooth gameplay, a lot of angry minions, and just jumping around killing everything. So mapping not so difficult. And the bridge fights, of course, is over here for you guys to have a look. Now at the end of the bridge fight, if you're not seeing the builder's guide, you can see all the item and also choices of the skill that was used during the fight. So you can hover over them, lower the speed of the replay to see what was used for this particular setup. I think we're pretty much set on the summons with rage minions. I'm very happy to make the zombies work. My next goal is to see if I can add in a headhunter in it. Just get tons of buffs, tier 1 auras like invulnerability, haste auras for free, and also, we can get extra physical damage for 20% extra physical damage. So I need to find a way to get headhunter in, and then that will be the build. The final step is to look into a different character, the Disciple, with that own companion and also ascension for the feature of the minions for this particular season. Now hopefully you guys found today's video helpful. Again, a big thank you to everyone on YouTube, especially our supporters and also those of you guys who's been supporting me on Patreon as well. And we do have a new feature on the Majestic YouTube channel. If you click onto this, you can become a member. Yes, I've added this just recently, and this will allow you to have early access to videos that is posted a few hours or even half a day earlier if you want to watch those videos a little early. But yes, this will cost money. So please be aware the membership will cost money. And if you do want to watch videos normally, those videos will still be available after 6 to 12 hours, normally on the time we post those videos. And I'll be aiming to post at least one Path of Exile video a day, and this will be including guides, tips, news update, and also the latest tricks that is discovered on both the English and also Chinese community to keep you guys updated. And if you like those videos, make sure you leave a nice comment and also leave a like for those videos.
Nature takes what's old. Misshapen filth! Out of mana! Begone, foul creature! No mana!
My time has come. Now you
No
die!
mana!
Burn, oppressor!
No mana!
In they come! Out of mana! Shapen filth!
No mana!
Out of mana! Fortune favors me. Out of mana! No mana! Balance restored! Out of mana! Monstrous wretch! Out of mana!
That are one. The womb of existence. We shall. We that fail.
Out of mana! Out of mana! Out of mana! No mana! Out of mana!
Now before we finish, if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so because I'll be looking into the latest Path of Exile 2 news on different communities and also on our official forum, official webpage. I'll also be looking into the best build for each of the class as the meta develops with the Chinese and also the English community. So stay tuned for the latest update and also guides for Path of Exile 2. And of course, this is gonna be a big month for us. And I'll try to bring you guys all of the latest content and also guides for Path of Exile 2 to come.